Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learned. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe, all of that. You guys know exactly what to do as soon as you head into the video. And we're back after a victory. Finally. Because in the league, it was starting to look a little bit worrying. Not too worrying, but you know what it's like. 2 games without a win. If we didn't beat Newcastle, there'd be a few more alarm bells ringing and people would start talking about like how serious are Chelsea really. But we handled business the way that we were meant to handle business. Obviously, like it was a little bit worrying towards the end. We kept giving the ball away stupidly, and like Newcastle had plenty of dangerous opportunities to equalize. But we're going to touch on all of that later on in the video. Ultimately, we got the win, which is exactly what we needed, and we just keep it moving because now we got the dangerous 2 fixtures: Man United away, Arsenal at home. 6 points is a must. I beg, I plead, please get the victories there because we've been waiting ages for victories in those 2 specific fixtures. So, time to make names for yourself, Chelsea. Time to make names for yourself. Before we start the video, though, I do have to shout out the sponsors. Big up to Omely. With Omely, it's time to get in the game. Omely brings fans together like never before and lets them take center stage. Whether you want to host a live show, jump in as a guest, listen in, or simply connect with other passionate supporters, Omely is the place where true football conversations happen. The more you engage, the more recognition you earn. And with Omely, every fan has a voice in real time. It's a platform where you don't just follow the game in the news, you live it. So if you're ready to be a part of something bigger, download Omely right now. Join us over on the app, and let's bring football fans back home. And with that in mind, Chelsea came back home, and we finally managed to get 3 points in a home league game. It's only the second time this season, but ultimately, even though there was some worrying signs at the end, like it was enough for Chelsea to deserve the victory. First off, we were by far the better team. We were absolutely cooking Newcastle alive in transition. They came out on the front foot, and it suits us perfectly. I think Maresca's decision to start Neto instead of Sancho was also a brilliant move, and it was also rewarded with the first goal. Cole Palmer, first off, we have to talk about that unbelievable pass. They're calling it Messi-esque for good reason. Ridiculous vision from him. Neto as well put the burners on, set the ball up for Nicholas Jackson to finish. And Nicholas Jackson does what he's starting to get very, very good at, burying chances. Because we've said, like, his composure's been a little bit of a problem. And this is going to be my first point. His composure is really starting to show now over the last few games. Liverpool, we already saw, with limited opportunities, he's still bagged, even though he had to deal with Van Dijk and Kanate at the same time. And now in this game, he got another chance and he buried it again. And it wasn't even just that in his game that really stood out. His transitional plays were brilliant too. His hold-up play, his ability to hold off players while he's dragging the ball forward and carrying it from one side of the pitch to the other. Decision-making, we already know Jackson and his link-up plays top tier anyway, but what a performance from him. And I said it in my fan cam yesterday, I'm going to say it again today. The best striker in London. Miss me with this Kai Havertz revisionism BS. What's it called? Jackson has already overdone his tally at Chelsea in the Premier League with 47 less games played. But there'll still be idiots here who will tell you that we shouldn't have sold Kai Havertz. There'll still be idiots that will say, we ripped apart our UCL winning team for what? We had to, first off. And also part of it wasn't even our fault. Like, if the old regime kept Rudiger and Christensen, we'd be in a much more stable position. But I digress. There's no point me opening that can of worms. Nicholas Jackson bossed it. Everything was fine until we equalized. It was a very annoying goal to concede because it completely changed the aspect of the game. Like, Lavia kind of got cooked, but I'll be real, he had a good game anyway, so I don't really care. Chalk it down to like one unlucky moment in match, and that's it. But because the midfield got bypassed so quickly, Newcastle were able to build up play, and they honestly just created a really good goal. They got Reece James in like a 3v1 situation. He was screwed. It was finished. It is what it is. Might have been offside, might have been onside. I don't really care because we won. But yeah, there was a little bit of controversy surrounding that one. If we don't concede that, though, I genuinely think we win the game 3-0 because Newcastle were getting fried, and it was just a matter of time before we bagged the second. That goal allowed them to rest on their laurels a little bit and to drop back a bit more before half-time, which just makes the goal that we scored off the break so much more important. And it's another point that I wanted to make too. We're starting to make a habit of scoring immediately after the break. And it's a testament to whatever Maresca's saying at halftime, whatever Maresca's doing with these players, because it's working. Whatever he says at halftime, the players are coming out motivated and they're instantly firing. They're instantly firing. It's not the first time that we've done that. Liverpool, as another example. I think West Ham, as another example too. That there's another game I'm trying to remember off the top. Wolves, when Noni just decided to go crazy and bag a hat-trick. Just like that. We're starting to make a habit, and I think all of those were within 3 minutes of the second half. So another point is like, if we have a bad first half, I ain't worried. Because like Maresca's game management is top tier. And yes, the goal was a bit of a goalkeeping howler, but it was also a very powerful finish from Cole Palmer. It's a little bit of both. So we will take it and we will be very grateful. Moving on to my third point, Reece James, because this man saved our lives in the second half. Whatever Maresca said about the leadership and him not having all the attributes that he wants for a leader yet, I think he's taken it on board. And he made a statement with his performance because, number one, he's playing at left back and he looked just as comfortable as he did at right back. Second of all, his back post blocks and clearances literally saved us from conceding. Like, he was doing a monstrous job in the second half. And every time he made those saves, he was going back to the other players and telling them, no, keep switched on. The game's not over yet. We have to keep switched on. And that's what you want from your captains. Maresca didn't just single him out because of any negative reason or anything like that. I think it was a motivational tactic. And it's worked. Because he's telling Reece James, like, you're the captain, but you need to do more. You always need to do more as the captain. And I think he's keeping that in mind now. So, very, very good work from Maresca. It was also good to just focus Reece James a bit more on that instead of just dealing with playing in a left-back position as well. And yeah, really good to see from him. I think that was my third or fourth point. I don't remember, but I got 2 more points anyway. Moises Caicedo! Just because we're starting to get used to these performances don't mean that we're going to stop talking about them. This man bossed it again. Like, as it stands, I am saying it. On form, he's the best midfielder in the league. I don't give a damn at this point. This guy's performances are so consistent and so ridiculous that it's not even crazy to say at this point. Ball-winning machine. He won the ball so many times I think only N'Golo Kante has matched it in 2018. It was a performance he would have been proud of. Passing on point, tackling on point, awareness on point. Couldn't ask anything more from him. 115 million, well damn spent. Brighton can have another 5 million for all I care. And what's my final point? Because we got to end it on a negative, sadly, because we got to talk about Robert Sanchez. I know I said that this guy's improved. Oh, boy. The passing was terrible. Is it like... I still think he has a good long pass in him, but it's now not a consistent feature, in my opinion. He's just got it in his bag. He can make a good long pass here or there, but it just feels like we just moonwalked right back to where we were last season. And my confidence is just starting to fade with him again. And I'm so worried about the next 2 games ahead because I think he's going to do some stupidness. I really hope it's just a blip. But I don't know with him. The passing yesterday was disgustingly bad. It was awful. It was putrid. And yeah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that game that I saw from him. If Jorgensen has a good game against Newcastle in the Cup, honestly, just give him the game. Give him the Manchester United game. It can't be much worse. Really can't. But with Robert Sanchez, that wasn't good enough. And we're lucky not to have been made to pay for that. We really are. But thankfully, we won. We won. So, be happy, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit the likes, subscribe, all of that crap. I will see you guys for the next game. Bun Pochettino. I didn't get a chance to say that in this video. So Bun Poch. And yeah, take care, everybody. Up the Chelsea.